If you believe you know your Sigma INFJ acquaintance inside and out, you could be mistaken. Because they are highly cautious about what they reveal to the outside world and what they keep hidden, Sigma INFJs are full of mystery. These 10 peculiar behaviors are unique for a Sigma INFJ. 10. They are sincere yet hurtful assessments. Individuals who identify as Sigma INFJs tend to be introspective and scrutinize their feelings and ideas closely. Rather of vocally making hurtful remarks, they could analyze their ideas and try to learn more about the circumstances before making a decision. They place a high value on preserving peaceful relationships and averting needless confrontation. They could be reluctant to make hurtful remarks, which could sour ties or cause miscommunication. When expressing their opinions or providing constructive criticism, they may choose to do it in a more diplomatic manner since they value empathy and understanding. They may also be aware of the potential effects of their words on others and have a high degree of empathy. To preserve an emotional bond and prevent needless pain or injury, they might value politeness and thoughtful communication over direct honesty. 9. Their worry over not knowing. Because they are introspective people, Sigma INFJs take a lot of time to think back on their feelings and ideas. They could explore their inner anxieties about the unknown in an effort to comprehend and come up with autonomous coping mechanisms. They frequently make an effort to maintain a calm, steady atmosphere around them. Since it would jeopardize the composed exterior they put on for other people, they can be reluctant to admit their worries of uncertainty. Even in situations that are unclear, they would rather project an air of confidence and control. Additionally, Sigma INFJs have a strong sense of independence and dependability. They are committed to coming up with their own answers and negotiating uncertainty according to their terms. Speaking out about their fear of uncertainty might be interpreted as a sign of weakness or a perceived lack of control, which makes them reluctant to disclose. However, as a Sigma INFJ, how do you overcome your vulnerability phobia? 8. Their defense against weakness. Sigma INFJs place a great priority on their own space and inner life. They are hesitant to share their most intimate feelings and challenges for fear that doing so may cause them to lose control or be taken advantage of by others. They may preserve a sense of independence and self-preservation because of their vulnerability shielding, which serves as a defensive mechanism. They can be reluctant to open out because of prior experiences when they thought their sensitivity was misinterpreted or exploited. These encounters strengthen their tendency to conceal their weaknesses and preserve their emotional independence. Vulnerability shielding is therefore a strategy used by Sigma INFJs to safeguard their emotional health, keep control over their life, and travel the world independently. 7. They're not your typical pastimes. Because they respect their privacy, Sigma INFJs are inclined to keep their passions and hobbies a secret from others. Their need for privacy frees them from the constraints of other people's opinions or meddling, enabling them to preserve their feeling of independence and uniqueness in their interests. When Sigma INFJs disclose their unusual pastimes in public, they might also worry about being misinterpreted or not taken seriously. They can be concerned about doubt or criticism from those who don't comprehend their love for specialized or unusual activities, or who don't share their interests. Additionally, they frequently share only specific aspects of their private lives, such as their hobbies, with others. They frequently would rather keep certain facets of their lives private and only share them with a select group of people who they know would value and comprehend their special interests. This allows them to have a closer, more meaningful relationship with those people. Do these odd pastimes provide you cerebral stimulation and personal joy as a Sigma INFJ? 6. They are capable of addressing problems on their own. To come up with novel ideas, Sigma INFJs frequently rely on their own insights, intuition, and imagination. But they can be reluctant to show off their autonomous problem-solving skills in public because they don't want to come across as distant or diminish the contributions of others. They also think it's important to keep relationships harmonious and steer clear of confrontation. To avoid making other people feel alienated or underappreciated, they might not publicly display their capacity for autonomous problem-solving. Even if they are capable of solving difficulties on their own, they would rather promote a cooperative atmosphere where everyone's opinions are respected. Strong senses of independence and a preference for taking on issues alone are characteristics of Sigma INFJs. They could, however, hold back from overtly showcasing their propensity for autonomous problem solving in order to uphold their modesty and promote collaboration and teamwork. 5. They find loudness to be annoying. Sigma INFJs may internalize their frustrations and look for a better grasp of the circumstances rather than vocally expressing their anger. Sigma INFJs place a high value on preserving amicable relationships and averting conflict. To ease the stress or avoid upsetting others, they could express their frustration loudly. Since they respect peace, they could choose to resolve the situation diplomatically as opposed to vocally voicing their displeasure. Additionally, Sigma INFJs might be extremely sensitive to noise levels in their surroundings. To avoid upsetting other people or coming out as too sensitive, they could, however, keep their frustrations to themselves. Do you harbor resentment towards loudness and worry about upsetting your outgoing pals as a Sigma INFJ? 4. Their unwillingness to ask for assistance. First of all, Sigma INFJs are frequently quite autonomous people who like taking on tasks on their own. They may be reluctant to ask for assistance because they think it shows weakness or dependency on others, even when they are confident in their capacity to solve problems. Second, when it comes to disclosing their inner battles to others, Sigma INFJs are choosy and cherish their solitude. Instead than burdening others or showing their weaknesses, they might prefer to internalize their issues in the hope that they can solve them on their own. Finally, requesting help in the past may have resulted in disappointment or a lack of understanding for Sigma INFJs. These encounters could make individuals more reluctant to ask for help and more inclined to rely on their own resources and problem-solving abilities. Thus, their inclination to seldom express their unwillingness to ask for aid in an open manner may be attributed to their self-reliance, need for privacy, and prior experiences. They would rather keep up a front of strength and self-reliance in the face of obstacles. 3. Their rebellious spirit within. Although Sigma INFJs could have a rebellious streak deep inside, they tend to hide it since they'd rather keep things peaceful and stay out of trouble in their social or professional circles. They place a high value on preserving harmonious relationships and averting conflict. They can be reluctant to publicly display their rebellious side for fear that it will be misinterpreted or cause a rift in their relationships. Since they seek harmony, they could choose to exhibit their individuality or question the status quo in more subdued ways that don't cause big messes. Furthermore, rather than openly defying social conventions or expectations, Sigma INFJs may value social change through their activities and may have a high sense of personal responsibility. They could look for different routes or subtly follow their own distinct visions, all the while outwardly conforming to social norms. Therefore, the propensity of Sigma INFJs to seldom express their inner rebel spirit publicly is influenced by their reserved character, emphasis on harmony maintenance, and desire to avoid conflict. They could decide to rebel in more subdued ways or express their uniqueness in ways that are consistent with their relationships and personal beliefs. Does this behavior help you think independently and make your own decisions as a Sigma INFJ? 2. Their disengagement from worldly goods. Because they place a high importance on peaceful relationships, Sigma INFJs might be reluctant to publicly declare their disassociation from worldly goods for fear of coming off as strange or misinterpreted. To feel like they belong or to prevent disagreement within their social circles, they might adhere to traditional norms about financial riches and goods. Additionally, Sigma INFJs could be aware of the practical or symbolic importance that material belongings can have in society, and utilize them as a means of self-expression or as a means of blending in. They could understand that in order to successfully navigate social encounters, they must strike a balance between their internal detachment and outward expectations. Because of their quiet disposition, desire for harmonious relationships, and social expectations, Sigma INFJs are unlikely to publicly express their disengagement from worldly assets. Even while they may place a higher priority on inner ideals and personal fulfillment, they may nevertheless interact with material items to some degree in the outside world. 1. Their inclination toward unconventional professional pathways. When it comes to openly expressing their desire for non-traditional professional options, Sigma INFJs frequently hesitate. How come? Because traditional professional choices are frequently prioritized by society expectations and norms, which can lead to peer pressure and criticism. If Sigma INFJs stray from the typical job route, they could worry about judgment or misinterpretation. They are quite choosy in sharing their own goals and desires because of their contemplative nature. When their career aspirations deviate from conventional norms, they frequently keep them a secret. They are better able to preserve their uniqueness and have autonomy over their professional decisions because to this discretion. Additionally, Sigma INFJs cherish their liberty and self-governance. They can have more influence over their job and follow their own passions and principles by choosing non-traditional professional options. They could decide to conceal their choice, though, if it means avoiding criticism, pressure to fit in, or unwanted counsel. Does doing these activities in secret allow you, as a Sigma INFJ, to explore your ideas free from the burden of criticism from others? Yes, Sigma INFJs are mysterious people. People seem to know everything about them 1 minute, and then nothing at all. What strange behaviors or characteristics do you keep hidden from other people? You hide them, but why?